All right, Ivy with a 319 to the good side. Allison left way early. Allison runs a 937 at 81.52 miles an hour. Ivy ran an 824 at 82.21 miles an hour. All right, sportsman, you should be in the staging lane. Sportsman, you should already be in the staging lane. Sportsman. All right, firm up. Let's go sportsman racing. Sportsman. Pros to the staging lanes. Pros to the staging lanes. Pros to the staging lanes, please. Pros, please. Pros to the staging lanes. Pros to the staging lanes. Pros to the staging lanes, please. Pros, please. Pros to the staging lanes. Pros to the staging lanes. I see you down there putting your step on. Pros to the staging lanes, please. Pros. All right, round two of pros. Corey Seekins in the near lane. Wild Willie Hudson in the drag strip patrol in the Pence Kelly lane. Junior Street, Junior Street, lane 5, Junior Street, lane 5, Junior Street, lane 5. Pros to the staging lanes, pros to the staging lanes. All right, Jim Kendall in the near lane, Ken Flory in the far lane. All right, Flory with an 040 reaction time. Kendall with an 030. Kendall runs a 679 at 100.25 miles an hour. Flory runs a 666 at 101 miles an hour. This spares a couple of cool cars. Randy Guitar in the near lane, in the guitar stand. And in the Pence Kelly lane, Greg Heine in the box stock 1960 Volvo with the factory hood scoop option. Junior Street, lane 5, Junior Street, lane 5. Shifters to the staging lane, shifters. Shifters to the staging lanes, please, shifters. All right, Randy with an 042 reaction time. Heine's going to drive around him at the big end. Greg with an 081 reaction time runs a 626 at 109 miles an hour. Randy ran a 637 at 100 miles an hour. All right, George Weimer in the world's fastest 50 Ford in the near lane. Rob Lastly from Bend in the Nova. Junior Street. All right, I see you guys coming. Shifters to the staging lanes, shifters. Shifters to the staging lanes, please, shifters. Weimer with a 222 reaction time is going to get to the stripe first. Runs a 616 at 111 miles an hour. Lastly, had an 060 reaction time, ran a 667 at 102.85 miles an hour. All right, this is going to be the bikes. We got Angie in the near lane, Cody in the Pence Kelly lane. Shifters to the staging lane, shifters. Shifters to the staging lane, shifters. All right, Angie Compton, Cody Compton, Ariel Washington. They come down here to dry out. I don't know how many of y'all have ever been to Ariel, Washington. It's the second wettest planet next to the second wettest place on the planet next to the Amazon. Cody with an 046 to the reaction time runs a 678 at 110.79 miles an hour. Angie had a 300 red light, runs a 923 at 79.74 miles an hour. All right, Junior Street. I see one shifter. I know there's a flock of you today. So shifters to the staging lanes, shifters. All right, James Black, 071 red light. Runs an 11:07 at 61.62 miles an hour. This bear's going to be Brooklyn McBee in the near lane. Cody McMackey in the far lane. Shifters, you should be in the staging lanes. Shifters, you should be in the staging lanes. Shifters. Cody with an 070 reaction time. Brooklyn with an 095. Cody runs a 9:09 with an 8 at 72.5 miles an hour. Brooklyn runs a 9:53 at 71 miles an hour. All right, it's Shifter, round 2. Super Pro to the staging lane. Super Pro to the staging lane. Super Pro. All right, Bill Ledford in the Flynn Construction lane. Brad Hockala in the Pence Kelly lane. Super Pro to the staging lane. Super Pro. Hockala with an 022 red light turns the wind light on for Billy. Ledford has no 24 reaction time, runs a 9 flat at 80.89 miles an hour. Hockala runs a 965 at 53.42 miles an hour. I'm thinking he might have missed a shift. All right, Alan Taylor in the pickup. In the Flynn Construction lane. C.K. Sanborn in the Pence Kelly lane. Last call for shifters. Last call for shifters. Super Pro to the staging lanes. Super Pro to the staging lanes. Super Pro. Allen went up 423 reaction time, runs a 10:07. Sanborn had a 141 reaction time, ran a 9:36 at 77.10 miles an hour. All right, this is going to be Larry Johnson in the near lane. Lee Hazel in the CUDA. Watch this CUDA go down through there. All right, Hazel with an 064 reaction time, runs a 686 at 106.67 miles an hour. Larry had a 260 reaction time, ran an 835 with a 9. Super Pro to the staging lane. Super Pro to the staging lanes, please. Super Pro. All right, Corey Dubay in the near lane. In Brutus, Jim Lavoie in the Nova. Super Pro to the staging lane, Super Pro. All right, Lavoie with an 010 reaction time runs a 561 at 124.26 miles an hour. Corey ran an 017 reaction time, ran a 618 at 113.8 miles an hour. All right, Marty Bolt in the Baskin Robbins dragster. Mackenzie Curtis. Marty, last weekend's runner-up, won a ton of money. Baskin Robbins, when you just gotta have your ice cream delivered before it melts, call Marty. All right, Mackenzie will get that figured out. She left way early, ran an 8:28, 104 miles an hour. Marty runs a 5:32 at 123.82 miles an hour. All right, this pair is Greg Yount in the AMX. So one of the great mysteries of life is how did American Motors go from the Pacer after the AMX? I mean, what were they thinking? I realize the 70s were hard on people, but oh my God. All right, Greg with an 037 reaction time. Austin with an 011 runs a 567 at 118 miles an hour. Greg runs a 671 at 101.94 miles an hour. All right, Gary Bolt with an 031 reaction time. Runs a 608 at 111.02 miles an hour. All right, they're selling 50. All right, they're selling 50-50 tickets at the booster booth. So we're selling 50-50 tickets at the booster booth. So get your 50-50 tickets. And while you're there, buy a ticket for the car raffle. That car and trailer and everything in the trailer, $100 a ticket. Get your ticket at the booster booth. All the information you need is at the booster booth. All right, Steve Gordon in the near lane. Lloyd Peterson in the Pence Kelly lane. All right, Gordon with a big wheelie and a red light runs a 650 with a 7 at 109 miles an hour. Loy had an 029 reaction time, ran a 650 with a 1 at 103 miles an hour. All right, remember, get your 50/50 tickets and the raffle tickets for the car and the trailer and all the tools that you see when you look. They're $100 a ticket, and we're going to raffle that off. It's all season long, and all the money from that raffle goes to improvements at the track. All right, attention in the pits. Attention in the pits. We're going to make this abundantly clear. Clean up to the staging lanes, clean up. But this is how this is going to work. Just because you spun, if you did not get 2 attempts to start, if you spun, did a big wheelie, whatever, if you came up here and staged your car twice, don't come up for cleanup. If you did not get 2 attempts, come up. Clean up. Sportsman lane 1. Pro lane 2. Super Pro lane 3. Shifters lane 4. Is Ivy going to make another pass? All right, Jocelyn Hudson. All right, Ivy McPherson in the near lane. Allison Eichley in the Pence Kelly lane. All right, we're gonna post the ladders and do a little quick prep. It looks like, and we'll go to racing. So if you're hungry or thirsty, you need to come up and check out Barn Doggies. They got hot dogs and all kinds of good stuff. The hot dogs are killer. All right, we're posting the ladders. All right, she's posting the ladders. So come on down, check out who you're racing. All right, attention in the pits. Attention in the pits. We're going to have to redo the Super Pro ladder, and somebody's going to get a bye. So we'll redo the Super Pro ladder, and I think Alex is posting it right now, I think. So Super Pro, come check it out. Going to redo the ladder. Give us 10 minutes and we'll go racing. 10 minutes and we'll go racing. So juniors, start getting ready. Start getting ready. All right, the new Super Pro ladder is posted. We apologize for that. The new Super Pro ladder is posted. Don't forget, 50-50 tickets at the booster booth. They're selling 50-50 tickets at the booster booth. Get in on that. And get in on the car raffle. The trailer and everything you see inside it. $100 a ticket. The raffle goes all year and it goes to help us make some improvements at the track. Juniors, be strapping your cars on. Juniors, be strapping your cars on. All right, 50-50 tickets at the booster booth. Get your 50-50 tickets at the booster booth. Juniors to the staging lanes. Juniors to the staging lanes. All right, y'all need to come up here and get something to eat. Barn Doggies has got it all. Everything we need. All right, let's go Junior Thunder Racing. Oh, Michael Lopton, son of a gun, turns the red light on. Uh, okay. Yeah, fire him up. All right, Aiden Rodriguez with a 966 dial in the Pence Kelly lane. Aiden Rodriguez with a 966 dial in. All right, Aiden went an 079. Red light runs a 967 at 65.64 miles an hour. So, Michael and Hudson, are you ready? Yes, run Allison and yes, and then we'll go back to them. Sportsmen to the staging lanes, sportsmen. Sportsmen to the staging lanes, please. Sportsmen. Sportsmen to the staging lanes, sportsmen. All right, Ivy with an 824 for a dial in. Allison with an 802, 2/10 of a second head start for Ivy. The final, a Junior Lightning right here. Oh, Ivy's gonna be mad. She dang near got it right. 008 red light turns the wind light on for Allison. Allison runs a 798 at 80.95 miles an hour. Allison would have broke out, but Ivy turned the bottom Red Bull on. All right, fire 'em up. Light 'em up. Let's go, Junior Thunder. Sportsmen to the staging lanes. Sportsmen. Sportsmen to the staging lanes, please. Sportsmen. All right, 1438 for Michael in the near lane. 1088 for Hudson in the Vince Kelly lane. Oh, he red lit big time this time. And Hudson runs an 1101 at 61.52 miles an hour. Michael runs a 15:22 at 42.96 miles an hour. So Hudson's going to race Aiden in the final Junior Thunder in the next round. Sportsman, you need to be in the staging lane. Sportsman, you need to be in the staging lane. Sportsman. All right, let's go sportsman racing. Sportsman, you need to be in the staging lanes. Sportsman, you need to be in the staging lanes. All right, Brandon McBee in the near lane with a 785 dial in the right lane. All right, Brandon McBee with a 940. Jim Dowley with a 785. Oh, Dowley's going to have to get on his horse. Oh, and he gets it in a double breakout. Oh, Brandon runs a 931 for 9 for a big old breakout. Dowley run a 780 at 87 miles an hour. Jim Dowley's going another round. All right, this bears George Picks in the near lane. Molalla, Oregon with an 835 on the window of the Nova. And over in the Pence Kelly lane, C.K. Sanborn from Prineville with a 837, 200ths of a head start for Sanborn. George Bix turns the wind light on, runs an 838 with an 8 at 80.03 miles an hour. Sanborn runs an 839. Ah, all right, this pair, Scotty G, Madras in the near lane. Crystal Brown, Lakeview in the Pence Kelly lane. Scott with a 915 on the window of the Chevy. Crystal with a 929 on the Corvette. All right, Crystal with a 159 for a reaction time, runs a 30 on a 929 for the win. Scott ran a 930 on a 950. He gave it away at the tree. All right, Karen Colch in the near lane with an 872 on the Charger. Larry Brewer in the Blazer in the Pence Kelly lane with a 795. So pretty good head start for Larry or Karen. Pros to the staging lanes. Pros to the staging lanes. Pros to the staging lanes, please. Pros to the staging lanes. Oh. All right, John Brown. Matt Rich. To give it away to Karen. All right, Matt Rich in the Pence Kelly lane with a 754 dial in. John Brown with a 777. Oh, Matt Rich, son of a gun. John Brown runs a 777 with a 2 for the win. Rich ran a 757. Not quite close enough. All right, this pair, Stuntman McFall in White Lightning. Alex Johnston in the Pence Kelly lane. Stuntman with a 769 on the El Camino. Alex has an 823 for a dial on the old Omega. Stuntman with an 013 reaction time runs a 780 for the win. Alex runs an 836 at 75 miles an hour. Not quite enough. Stuntman's going another round. Pros to the staging lanes. Pros to the staging lanes. Pros, bring them up. Pros to the staging lanes. Pros to the staging lanes. Pros to the staging lanes. Pros to the staging lanes, please. Pros to the staging lanes, please. Pros, bring them up. Pros to the staging lanes. Pros to the staging lanes. All right, that was Greg Haney. And he ran a 6:28 at 109 miles an hour. He gets to buy into the next round. This pair looks like Rob Lastly in the near lane with a 667 dial in. And in the Pence Kelly lane, Randy Guitar in the Guitar's end with a 638 dial in. This car's an original racer from Lions Drag Strip back in the day in California. All right, this pair's going to be Corey Seekins with a 611 dial in the near lane. And in the Pence Kelly lane, Wild Willie Hudson in the Drag Strip Patrol. Pros, you need to be in the staging lanes. Pros, you need to be there. Corey Seekins, Willie Hudson, Wild Willie, the Python champion of Prineville, in the Drag Strip Patrol. Oh, Wild Willie runs a 745 on a 746, missed it by 100. Corey runs a 611 with a 7 for the win. All right, this pair, George Weimer in the shoebox board in the Pence Kelly lane. Tim Kendall in the Nova in the Flynn construction side. Shifters to the staging lanes. Shifters to the staging lanes, please. Shifters. Junior Street. You're there. Bikes, you're there. Oh, Weimer's going to be mad. He gave it to Kendall. Ran a 612 on a 616 for a breakout. Turns the wind light on for Kendall. Tim run a 679. All right, our buy into the next round. Ken Flory, Benson, Arizona. Not many people know what the heck kind of car this is. It is an AMC Spirit. You could get this car with a 401. It's like AMC's answer to the Vega with an attitude. Ken Flory, this if you're going to waste a red light, you might as well waste run now. Flory with a 009 red light runs a 663 at 102.94 miles an hour. Shifters to the staging lanes, shifters to the staging lanes. Bring them up. All right, Cody Compton, what a 638 dial in. Cody Compton with a 638. Angie Compton with a 923. Not us. All right, Cody with a 638 in the near lane. Angie with a 923 in the Pence Kelly side. Shifters to the staging lane. Shifters. Cody took the long way. Oh man, Angie runs a 920 with a 1 for a breakout. Cody run a 675 at 109 miles an hour. Angie, by 300ths of a 35. Not sure what happened there, but she broke out by 20 with a 1 on a 23. All right. Trying to figure that out. I'm old. Be patient. All right. It's Junior Street time. All right, James Black with an 1109 on an 1103 at 61 miles an hour is going to race the winner of this run. Cody Mackey with a 908 dial in on the world's fastest rambler. Racing Brooklyn McBee with a 951 dial in from Rufus on the I Rock and Roll. Winner of this is going to race James in the final. All right, Cody Mackey, Brooklyn McBee. All right, Cody runs a 9:10 at 69.82 miles an hour to turn the wind light on. Brooklyn runs a 9:50 with an 8, broke out by uh, not much. All right, CK Sanborn with a 9:35 in the near lane. Lee Hazel with a 6:58 in the far lane. This is the shifters. They leave with a clutch. All right, Lee's going to roll through the light. Runs at 687, 105 miles an hour. Sanborn would have broke out, ran a 931 at 77 miles an hour. All right, this pair, Larry Johnson in the near lane with an 835 on the Mustang. Bill Ledford with an 899 on the Camaro. Super Pro to the staging lane, Super Pro. Super Pro to the staging lanes, please. Super Pro. Bring them up. All right, Larry Johnson, Billy Ledford, and Ledford's going to be the winner. Ran a 905, 75 miles an hour. Johnson ran an 847 at 67 miles an hour. All right, this is Alan Taylor in the near lane in the pickup with a 10 flat. And in the Pence Kelly lane, Brad Hockla with a 768 dial in. Super Pro to the staging lane, Super Pro. Super Pro to the staging lanes, please. Super Pro. All right, Hockla with a 776 is your round winner. Allen ran a 1021 at 72.97 miles an hour. Brad just got closer to the number. Super Pro to the staging lane, Super Pro. Super pro to the staging lane, super pro. All right, Mackenzie's got the car figured out. Kenzie Curtis in the near lane with a 646 dial in. And in the Vince Kelly lane, Greg Young with the other cool car that AMC built with a 665 dial in. Greg's going to get a pretty good head start here. He's going to need all of it. Kenzie is a racer. Dang it. She had him too. Greg had a 160 reaction time, ran a 663 at 102 miles an hour. He'd have broke out. Kenzie had a 134 red light, runs a 646 with a 9 on a 646, 106.68 miles an hour. All right, Corey Dubé in 57X, the Brutus in the near lane with a 619 dial in. In the Vince Kelly lane, Marty Bolt with a 532 dial in the Baskin Robbins dragster. When you just have to have your ice cream delivered before it melts, call Marty. He will get it done. Oh, Corey, Marty, son of a gun, runs a 528 with a 7 at 124 miles an hour. Broke out, turns the wind by 72 hundred thousandths of a second. No, Corey did. Corey runs a 618 with a 3 for a breakout and turns the wind light on and by by 2 inches. 2 inches. Corey Dubé wins that race. All right, this is Gary Bolt, Marty's dad. Big winner from last week. Got a 608 on that. Has no. Oh, Austin's on it today. Oh, and Austin breaks out, runs a 565 on a 67 for a breakout. Gary runs a 610 with a 5 at 111.29 miles an hour for the win. Gary Bolt goes to the next round. All right, this pairs Lloyd Peterson in the near lane with a 650 dial in. Racing his buddy Jim Lavoie in the Nova with a 561. Probably the fastest door car here over there in the far lane. All right, juniors, be getting ready. Juniors, be getting ready. As soon as we get the big cars done, you're up. Lloyd Peterson with a 650. Jim Lavoie with a 561. A whole second head start for Lloyd. Oh, Lloyd Peterson runs a 6:49 with an 8 for a breakout by quite a bit. A 2400 breakout for Lavoie. Turns the wind light on for. Anyway, Lloyd Peterson goes another round. All right, Steve Gordon from Prineville in the Chevelle. All right, Gordon with a 610 dial in, has no 15 to the red side, runs a 616 at 110.40 miles an hour. All right, we'll get Steve back down here. Junior Thunder Final. Junior Thunder Final to the staging lanes. Junior Thunder Final. All right, Junior Thunder. Junior Thunder Final. Junior Thunder Final to the staging lanes. Junior Thunder Final to the staging lanes. Hey, 50-50 tickets at the booster booth. 50-50 tickets. And buy your ticket for the car raffle. Buy your ticket for the car raffle. All right, Aiden Rodriguez. Hudson McGee. Oh, Hudson McGee is your winner. Runs an 11 flat with a 2 at 60 miles an hour. So Hudson, sportsman to the staging lanes, sportsman to the staging lanes, please, sportsman. Sportsman, sportsman to the staging lanes, sportsman to the staging lanes, sportsman. Jake, you can hear me, come on back. Sportsman to the staging lane, sportsman. Sportsman to the staging lane, sportsman. Sportsman to the staging lane, sportsman. All right, Stuntman McFall with a 769 on the window of the White Lightning. And in the Pence Kelly lane, George Spix with an 835 on the Nova. Oh, hang on a minute. All right, Fix is going to go, or Stuntman's going another round, ran a 771 at 80.73 miles an hour. George ran an 848 at 80.38 miles an hour. Pros to the staging lanes. Pros to the staging lanes, please. Pros to the staging lanes. Pros, please. All right, Crystal Brown in the near lane with a 925 dial in. Jim Daly with a 781 dial in the Pence Kelly lane. I got to go down. Pros to the staging lanes. Pros to the staging lanes. Pros, please. Oh, John Brown goes another round. Brown with an 014 reaction time runs a 787 for the win. Kieran was waiting for the toast to pop up. Had an 085 reaction time running 873. That's 79.96 miles an hour. Pros to the staging lanes. Pros to the staging lanes. Pros, please. Hey, if you're hungry or thirsty, they're not doing anything at Barn Dog. Oh, wait. There we go. Right? Yes, you. Good job. That's good stuff, isn't it? All right. You need to come up here to Barn Doggies to get you something to eat or drink. Pros to the staging lanes. Pros to the staging lanes, please. Pros to the staging lanes. And they're not doing anything at the booster booth either. You need to come up and get your 50-50 tickets and raffle tickets for the car. All right, Corey Seekins with a 611 dialing on the Chevy 2. Greg Heine with a 628 on the box stock 1960 Volvo with the factory hood scoop option. Oh, Corey Seekins runs a 614 with a 9 at 105 miles an hour for the win. Heine runs a 631 with an 8 at 108 miles an hour. Gonna give it away to Corey. Corey Seekins goes to the next round. This pair's gonna be Tim Kendall in the near lane with a 678 dial in. Racing my buddy Ken Flory, Benson, Arizona, in the AMC Spirit. Kendall with a 665, so 10th of a second head start for Corey. Or 10 Kendall. Kendall lights that bottom red bulb, runs a 678 with a 9. Just give it away at the start. Flory has no 97 reaction time, runs a 664 with an 8 at 102.56 miles an hour. All right, the buy into the next round, Rob Last from Bend. Rob with a 667 on the window. Junior Street, Junior Street, Junior Street final, Junior Street final. To the staging lanes, Junior Street final to the staging lanes. Shifter, round two to the staging lanes. Shifters, round two to the staging lanes. Lastly, with an 081 reaction time, runs a 662 at 102.49 miles an hour. Junior Street final, Junior Street final, lane 5, Junior Street final, lane 5. Shifters. Shifters. Round two to the staging lane. Shifters. Round two. Shifters. Round two to the staging lanes. All right, Cody Mackey, Junior Street Final. Cody Mackey in the near lane. James Black in the Pence Kelly lane. Cody with a 908 dial in. James with an 1103. All right, Cody Mackey, James Black. For all the marbles in Junior Street. Oh, Cody, come on, run a 904 at 70 miles an hour to break out. Turns the wind light on for James. Cody ate him at the tree, just gave it away at the stripe. All right, shifters. They're there. I need Super Pro. Super Pro to the staging lanes. Super Pro. Super Pro to the staging lanes. All right, the buy into the finalist shifters is Billy Ledford. Bill with an 899 dial in on the Camaro. Super Pro. Super Pro to the staging lane. Super Pro. Billy with an 093 reaction time is going to run a 902 with a 4 at 81.20 miles an hour. All right, this pair, CK Sanborn in the near lane with a 935 dialing on the Camaro. Brad Hakala with a 768 on the window of the Mustang. Super Pro to the staging lane, Super Pro. All right. Sanborn's going to give it away at the stripe. Hakala with an 024 red light runs a 769 at 90.74 miles an hour. Sanborn had a 204 red light. He left before he pushed the button down on the toaster. Ran a 923 at 78 miles an hour. Super Pro to the staging lane, Super Pro. Super Pro to the staging lane, Super Pro. Super Pro to the staging lane, Super Pro. All right, we're going to run the truck. All right, if you're hungry and thirsty, you need to come up here and get you something to eat or drink at Barn Doggies. I looked out the window a second ago and there was nobody getting anything to eat or drink. We cannot let the hymn sit there very long. Oh, hang on to that pickup. It was all over the place. And he runs a 1057 at 71.29 miles an hour. All right, it's Super Pro quarter quarterfinals, it looks like. All right, Corey Dubé with a 6:17 in the near lane in Brutus. Steve Gordon with a 6:16 in the Pence Kelly lane in the Chevelle. Corey Dubé with an 0:16 reaction time. Gordon lights the bottom bulb, runs a 26 at 110 miles an hour. Red light, turn the wind light on for Corey. Corey's going to the semis. All right, this pair, Marty Bolt or Gary Bolt in the near lane with a 608 dial in. And in the Penskelly lane, it is Greg Yount with a 663 dial in on the AMX. Gary's been on a roll for a while. Gary with a 608 dial. 0.6 of a second head start for Greg. My God, in this class, that's a ton. Sportsman to the staging lane. Sportsman. Oh, Gary Bolt drives around him, runs a 6:11 with a 4 at 110 miles an hour for the win. Greg gave it a shot, got out on him by 2 thou. Just missed his dial by 5 thou. Too much. Gary Bolt's going another round. All right, Lloyd Peterson in the hoopster gets the bye into the next round. Lloyd with an 0.25 reaction time is going to run a 6:50 with a 2 at 103.54 miles an hour. Sportsman. Yeah, we're printing ladders as we speak. We'll have them down there in a minute. All right, the ladders are on the way. The ladders are on the way. Yes. All right, the ladders are up down there. Sportsman, sportsman to the staging lane, sportsman. Sportsmen to the staging lanes. Sportsmen. Sportsmen to the staging lanes, please. Sportsmen. Bring them up. Sportsmen. Sportsmen to the staging lanes. Sportsmen to the staging lanes. Sportsmen. All right, John Brown is the buy into the final for Sportsman. All right, when we get done today, don't nobody run off because we're going to turn right around and do this again. All right, John Brown with a 777 dial in on the little Camaro. Buy into the final. Brown with a 105 reaction time. Runs a 782 at 92.31 miles an hour. All right, Stuntman McFall in the near lane with a 768 dial in. It's our. All right, Stuntman with a 768 in the near lane. Dolly with a 782 on the far side. Somebody's going to race John Brown here in a minute. All right, Deli with an 026 reaction time runs a 785 at 82.95 miles an hour. Stuntman had a 168 reaction time, ran a 762 at 87.77 miles an hour. He broke out, but Dally beat him to the stripe anyway. Pros to the staging lanes. Pros to the staging lanes. Pros to the staging lanes, please. Pros to the staging lane. All right, send Cody up in the pickup. Pros to the staging lanes. Pros to the staging lanes, please. Pros to the staging lanes. Pros, bring them up. Pros to the staging lanes. Pros to the staging lanes, please. Pros to the staging lanes. Pros, please. All right, Cody with a 287 reaction time. Shook the tires. Boy, he did everything. He did everything that Rambler won't do. All right, remember we got 50-50 tickets at the booster booth. We got car raffle tickets. And we got people up here eating too. So you need to come up and get you something to eat. All right, Rob Lashley in the near lane with a 663 dial in. Ken Flory with a 664 in the Pence Kelly lane. 100th of a second head start for Flory. I don't know who left better, but it's going to be tight at the top end. Ken Flory runs a 663 with a 6 at 106 miles an hour. Lastly run a 659. He broke out quite a bit. Ken Flory is going to race Corey Seekins in the final, a pro, here in about 20 minutes. All right, Corey Seekins with a 611 on the Chevy 2. Super Pro to the staging lane, Super Pro. Super Pro semifinals to the staging lane, Super Pro semifinals to the staging lanes. Seekins with a 611 is going to get out of it at about half track, runs a 53 on a 611. He kind of gave it away. Shifter final. Ah, there they are. Super Pro to the staging lane, Super Pro. All right, that's a little better. Cody with a 178 reaction time. Runs a 1269. That's 52.95 miles an hour. He's got one more pass in that truck, and then he can race the truck. All right, Brad Hockla in the near lane with a 768 dial in on the Mustang. Bill Ledford in the Pence Kelly lane with a 901 dial in on the Camaro. Finals of shifters. On the GM. On the black car in the far lane. That other guy that's not a Ford. Oh! All right, Ledford. Hockla gave it away at the start. Ran a 771. Billy ran an 894 at 80 miles an hour for the win. Hockla turns the bottom red bulb on. Super Pro semifinals to the staging lanes. Super Pro semifinal to the staging lanes. Hey, Cody, that was a lot better. That was better. All right, Gary Bolt, who is on a roll. Let me tell you, he gets the bye into the final of Super Pro. He won Super Pro the last 2 weekends, and he's still going to be in the final this week. So Gary Bolt in the Velvet Acres Geezer with a 608 dial in gets the bye into the final. Gary with an 033 reaction time. Runs a 613 with a 1 at 110.55 miles an hour. All right, this pair is going to be Corey Dubé with a 618 on the window of the Brutus in the near lane. Lloyd Peterson in the Dwy Speed Shop Hoopster in the Pence Kelly lane with a 650 dial in. So Lloyd's going to get a half a second head start. Watch the wheelie out of the Hoopster. Keep your foot in it, Lloyd. She's coming. Oh, Lloyd Peterson. Okay. By 6 inches, Lloyd Peterson is the winner. Lloyd runs a 650 with a 446 for the win. Corey ran a 620 240. She had a 008 light, just didn't quite run her number. So Lloyd's going to race Gary in the final of Super Pro in about, we'll give, it'll be about a half hour. All right. The little shifter pickup, we're going to get him to run down the track here real quick. All right, Cody Mackey. And it's his last pass in the truck, and then he'll go back to racing the Rambler. All right, Cody with a 382 reaction time runs a 12:65 at 53.15 miles an hour. All right, fire up the dragster. All right, Valerie with an 020 reaction time runs a 5:22 with a 2 at 133 miles an hour. All right. Sportsman final. Sportsman final. Lanes 1 and 2, please. Sportsman final. Lanes 1 and 2. Pro final. Pro final. Lanes 3 and 4. Pro final. lanes 3 and 4. Sportsman final, lanes 1 and 2. Pro final, lanes 3 and 4, please. Bring them up. And while you're waiting, don't forget to go to Barn Doggies and get you something to eat. You might want to hurry up because I'm headed down there while we got a minute. And while you're up here getting something to eat, buy you a raffle ticket and a 50-50 ticket because we're going to give some money away a little later on today. And at the end of the year, you got a shot at winning a car and a trailer and all the tools. Sportsman final. All right, I see one of them. Sportsman final, lanes 1 and 2, please. Sportsman final, lanes 1 and 2. Pro final, lanes 3 and 4, please. Pro final, lanes 3 and 4. Nobody run off. Nobody run off. We're going to turn right around and do this again. We're having so much fun, we're going to have 2 races today. All right. Oh, all right. I see the sportsman final coming. Should be John Brown and Jim Daly. Pro final. Lanes 3 and 4, please. Pro final. Lanes 3 and 4, please. All right. John Brown in the near lane with a 777 dial in on the Camaro. Jim Daly in the Prince Kelly lane with a 782 dial in on the black car. 10th of a second head start for Daly. All right. 4 bulbs lit. I think Brown might have got him at the tree. John Brown runs a 780 at 84 miles an hour. Daly runs a 791 at 83 miles an hour. Super Pro Final to the staging lane. Super Pro Final to the staging lanes. All right, Corey Seekins in the near lane. Ken Flory in the AMC Spirit in the Vince Kelly lane. Seekins with a 611 dial in. Ken with a 663 dial in. Half a second head start for Flory. Oh, Ken, son of a gun, gives it away at the stripe with a red light. Seekins runs a 610 at 111 miles an hour. Ken realized he'd give it away, shut it off early. Super Pro Final to the staging lane. Super Pro Final to lanes 1 and 2. Super Pro Final, lanes 1 and 2, please. All right, Cody Mackey gonna make another pass here. All right, Cody Mackey, 266 reaction time. Runs at 12:53 at 53.19 miles an hour. All right, Super Pro Final to the staging lane. Super Pro Final to the staging lane. Super Pro. All right, it's a little pickup. All right, he had a 6:15 reaction time, and he runs a 10:41 at 72.87 miles an hour. All right, Gary Bolt in the near lane. In the Velvet Acres Geezer with a 610 dial in. In the Pence Kelly lane, Lloyd Peterson with a 650 dial in. In the Dwy Speed Shop Hoopster. For the marbles, for the morning race. Oh, Lloyd's going to give it away. Launched at the start way early. Gary with an 010 red light's going to win again. Gary runs a 610 with an 8 at 110 miles an hour. Lloyd run a 652 with a 6 at 103 miles an hour. All right. We're going to reload, get everything all put together, have a little discussion down here amongst the crew, and spray the track and get all that done. All right, give us a half an hour, and we'll start round two. So at 2:20, we're going to start day two. All right, make sure you come up and get 50-50 tickets. Boy, if you have not had the piggy sandwich, you are missing out. It is it is incredible.